Hello everybody and welcome back to a Tuesday video. It's been a while since we've had one of these, hasn't it? But of course it is the end of 2020. It's finally here. We have all survived. And that means it's time to look back over the projects we've done this year. And I'll tell you what, I was sorting these all out earlier and I could not believe just how many things there are here. We have certainly been busy. And so I'm going to run this through. This will be all the projects we have worked on since last year's end of year review. And we're going to start, quite rightfully, at the beginning. There was one stream after last year's review where we finished the i3. Yes, it has been a year since we finished the i3. And I'll be honest, it seems like more than that to me. The amount we've done since this, just, I can't believe it was only a year ago. Of course, we had great fun on the i3 project. I would say easily the hardest project to date, with the modifications to the chassis so that I could use my preferred choice of motor. But there she is. We finished her on the first stream after last year's review. So of course she's a familiar sight and it's good to have her back on camera. But after that, we moved on to a completely different railway. We had a live stream, or we had a few live streams of detailing. And so the Southeastern and Chatham Locos, my 2Ps and my H, they got etched brass numerals on the side. I believe this one's cut for couplings but doesn't have any in because I ran out. This one has its proper Smith's free links in, ready to run. They've got crews, they've got coal in the back. You know, we took some ready to run locos and we made them layout ready. Obviously they still need weathering, but one thing at a time. None of my stock is weathered at the moment. And whilst we were doing those, we also worked on this wagon. This is a 3D printed wagon from TS Design. It was a test build I was sent to have a look at for him. It made up a very nice wagon. This is TS Design's Open A. I was very happy with it. I definitely recommend it. Even though, you know, this is essentially a failed print. But the problems with it are so small that even in the condition this is in, I would definitely recommend it. So yeah, definitely a great wagon kit. I had great fun building that. After that, we stuck with a bit of an SECR theme for quite a bit this year. Oh dear. Don't let your wagon roll off. See, runs too freely. It's too good. That's right, it's not broken, so I'll just put it back on the side. So yes, we had a bit of an SECR theme because we of course moved on to the beautiful D-Class that is not finished yet. And the reason it's not finished is because when we go back to it, it's going to get some modifications. Because we wanted to get it done before the Rails one came out. And I mean, I could stick a motor in that, stick the buffers on, stick the couplings in, stick the coupling rods on, and away it goes. However, it's getting some changes when we come back to it. It's going to get some modification to its chassis, because it's a big bulky white metal chassis. It's going to get some modification to that so that we can fit working inside valve gear. There is a lot of space under this boiler. As you can see the wheels under there. There is absolutely loads of space there. It's really easy to see. So, she's getting working inside motion. You even got the back of, I don't know if you can see it from there, but there is the back of the cylinders are there. So the mounting for these wheels will change, so they will actually be mounted here and have more realistic movement. We'll probably have to redo the entire side of the chassis back to this wheel in brass. There's a big join across the middle that needs to go. But yeah, so the plan is working inside valve gear using a Brassmaster's etch. There's a few other modifications we're going to make just to improve the detail on the kit. And then obviously it needs its proper transfers at some point, because these ones are just test prints to make sure I've got all my measurements correct. Just the colours are slightly out on them. But it was just a case of making sure I had it right, and there were a couple of things that needed adjusting, so it's a good job we did that rather than me sending off to have them made professionally and them not being any good. So yes, hopefully we'll be returning to that soon. So I've got a little bit more planning I need to do with how the redesign of the chassis is going to work, but it should all be good fun, he says. Whilst we're on the Southeastern and Chatham theme, we did a small rake of four-wheel Southeastern Railway carriages in Southeastern and Chatham livery. There's a couple more carriages to add to the rake. I believe it was a 7-car rake in total I was got that it will be eventually, but you know, that's eventually, that's in the future. For now, it's a 4-car rake, a 4-carriage rake, brake third, composite, brake third. The 2 brake thirds are different. That's a 3 compartment, that's a 2 compartment with luggage space. So they are, different carriages. And when it's extended to full length, I think it'll make a fantastic rake. As it stands, it does look quite good behind a P-Class on Oak Hill. I also, whilst doing those, did a second one of these in a video as a grounded body using spare parts I had. And the back of it is just a plain bit of plasticard with the windows cut through so that you can see all the way through. But that is a grounded body that will live on Oak Hill Mark II when it's done in the Locos shed area. It'll be the offices for the Southeastern and Chatham Loco foreman and the mess room for the crew and stuff. And it's done up, so it's got the bird cage is leaky, so it's got a wagon sheet chucked over it. Windows have been boarded over, and it's just generally not in great condition, but it makes a nice little scenic piece resting on a bed of sleepers. We also, early in the year, possibly, I think it was my first video series of the year, was my K's K-Class, which has of course been named James because of its colour. This is a colour the Locos actually wore in real life, or this Loco wore in real life. when it was on trials in 1913, wore it throughout the whole of that year. It is just the undercoat. It went. They sprayed it in undercoat. They wrote the company names on. So they didn't want to waste the paint on a Loco that was on trials. So that 337 and 338 initially got this. Once they were happy with them, 337 went back into the works and got photographic grey for the promotional photo shoots and stuff, as they did then. And then more members of the class got built. 337 ran in photographic grey for a while. 338, on the other hand, stayed in its red oxide undercoat until it returned to the works over a year later. So it spent quite a while in that. Now, I've no details on how it was, so I don't even know that they painted the smoke box black. I'm assuming they did when I've done this. I don't know that they painted the cab roof black. I wanted it to look like a Loco as well, so I picked out the black areas in black. What I do know, it was in red oxide. It had its number on its cab side and it had LBSC on the tender, both in plain white lettering. So at least that much is definitely accurate for its condition in 1913. You can see it's got, well, you might not be able to see, it's got lamp irons added to the back. It did have them all on the front. It's lost a couple, including the one at the top which had a root disc on it. That's due to how I had attached them, rather than, I mean, it's a K's model, it didn't come with them. So they're getting replaced at some point, but I'll be honest, it's not top of the priority list. But it is a fully working Loco. It's got the original K's motor in it. It's absolutely wonderful. And so yes, that is my heavy goods for my exhibition layout for Hailsham, along with a C2X. Another thing I did that only got shown off in a video after the fact was one of my B1s, got a repaint into umber. This one came off eBay. It's not a runner. It does not have a motor in it, and it is, it's apparently now missing both its rods. It was only missing one before. I've obviously taken the other one out for some reason. Probably, I mean, they were white metal rods. I was probably planning on replacing it, but it only had one. It's painted a horrible bright yellow when I got it, so it's had a repaint into umber. I've got another one that will be going into improved engine green, but this is Eastbourne. It's in a slightly later condition. It had to be modified for that, so the dome position is moved. It's got different safety valves. So this is rebuilt, I suppose, well, reboilered at least. The dome is actually slightly further forwards than they were originally, and obviously they all originally had the Saltair safety valves. And the whistle was where the safety valves are on this one. This is 183, which was Eastbourne, which was one of the local stations to where my layouts are set, so an ideal Loco to have. And it's in the right condition for my Hailsham layout, which is supposed to be in 1912. We're ignoring that bit with the K-class, just in case you're wondering. I've got a photo of the Loco in this condition, so it was modified and painted to go with that. Still needs couplings as well, but it does have its number on the buffer beam, so that will pull expresses on that. And about the same time I did that, I modified my Hornby Peckett. It is a Hornby Peckett, I assure you. It's a W4. It's lost its buffers and had blocks of plastic art to represent dumb buffers. It's had Smith's free links. It's lost a good portion of its cab. and it's had a repaint and has been renamed Lion. So yes, this is the Loco for the South Park Quarry. I am very happy with how this looks. It's going to get a Andrew Stadden Victorian Loco crew. I have them ready to go. I just need to, get round to it. However, I have recently discovered that I'm getting some South Park Quarry wagons as a Christmas present. So, having the Loco, having the wagons, I'm going to have to get on with the layout. So, I'm going to plan on, I'm hoping that Pico have got the track needed for that in stock now. And that can be something we work on the live streams in the coming year and get the layout done, because I think it'd be rather good to get a layout done on stream. That is something that's always been intended to be done. It featured way back in episode 1 of the live stream, not the first episode, that was 0, but the second episode, which was episode 1. The baseboards and the plans were discussed on there, and in fact ever since it has been up on my pinboard. So we've got Let's Build Live Inglewood Project South Park Quarry. It will get done on the stream. The Oak Hill branch mapped out with South Park Quarry off down here with this white pin in it, and the track plan for South Park Quarry, along with a representative sample of stock that I can place on there, and they were to make sure everything fit. I've even got some wagon sheets hung up so that they can go on wagons for the layout. So of course, once upon a time I was going to build the wagons on the live stream as well, but as I'm getting those pre-done, that won't be a thing I need to do anymore. I'm rather looking forward to receiving those. But on the note of private owners, we have built a Slater's kit for White and Beanie of Hailsham, who of course my exhibition layout being Hailsham is ideal, and also an earlier Dumb Bufford for Bradfords of Eastbourne. That's a 5 and 9 models kit. It was an absolute joy to build, highly recommend it. White metal kit. I would show you underneath where we've added a floor, but this coal load in it isn't actually stuck in, so it will just go everywhere if I do that. So yes, we have done 2 private owners this year. One is still waiting for couplings. I really need to get some more couplings ordered. This one apparently has the hooks, but nothing else in it. No springs, no chains, no split pins. So I'd best get on with that as well. And then we have also worked on a Southeastern Chatham wagon this year. That is a Southeastern Railway wagon. This was a time filler project. It's a kit by Linny, Linny's laser cut kit, who are currently not operating. It's waiting for its buffers and couplings, but they will come after paint. A Southeastern Railway round stepped ended wagon. We did that in, I think it was just over 20 minutes we built this kit at the end of a live stream, just to fill some time, because Linny's kits are that good that you can do. So there's no instructions for this. I believe I'm the first person other than Linny to build one of these, so that was a privilege to get to do. I have some more of Linny's kits to do as well, which I'm sure we will find 20-minute slots to do them in, but it does need finishing off. I'm thinking we should have a live stream, possibly this week, for finishing off unfinished little things like that. And also like this. It's another Brighton Open A. This is a new cast one, I believe. It's certainly a white metal kit as opposed to a plastic one. Again, I've opened out the holes for the couplings, but it has none because I need to order more couplings. Someone remind me to order more couplings. Comment down below. Whilst you're there, like, subscribe and all that stuff. We are 20 minutes in now. My gosh, this is a long review, isn't it? So, yes. Again, Open A, nice easy kit. I would love to recommend it, but obviously being new cast, it's not exactly easy to get a hold of. But if you can get one, it does make up nicely. And it runs nicely. What more do you need to know? And then we have some 009 that we worked on this year. We got a little bogie coach, a brake van, and a very open cattle wagon. I certainly wouldn't want to be the cattle being transported in that. So the cattle wagon is a 3D print that was donated to me. I do not know the original source of it, but it was nice to make up. It's not the most detailed of things. It's got no springs on its axle boxes, for example. But that could just mean that the cattle get an even worse ride, who knows. And also the brake van has, again, it's those same axle boxes. It was donated to me, but is clearly of the same provenance as this. It's not a bad little kit at all. It's got a lot of print lines in it that really I don't think I could fix. It's obviously been printed on a filament printer. There was a lot of work went into getting the roof smoothed, for example. But they're not bad little kits. They run nicely. They go on the layout quite happily. So they're there as fillers. They could really use with a coat of paint. Hopefully that will help hide some of the 3D print marks. And then we have the bogie coach we built, which is an old gem kit with a Talaflim brake. I'm still after the composite to go with this. I think it's a composite. Either way, it's not a brake. So it's gone into Nutley, Crowborough and Groombridge livery. Still needs tidying up and finishing, but I'm happy with it. It'll get the railway crest on it eventually. I've got a lot of transfers to order. But it is a very nice little kit. Did not take long to build. Needs its roof add-in. I don't think we ever made it a roof, but we were certainly going to. I got this cheap, and it's something that I could just dismantle and rebuild. It is really good. It's also still on temporary bogies that aren't attached. At some point I will order the Pico bogies for it and get it finished. That's certainly a process that would be sped up by me being able to get a hold of the other kit, so that I have both carriages. Because I would like a rake of the two of them. Now we're going to jump into something much more modern for the live stream, or in the history of the live stream, rather than being a modern bit of rolling stock, which is the Southeastern and Chatham Railway 6-wheel brake that we have not long finished the build of. Look, I've still not stuck the roof on. Of course, we finished this just a couple of weeks ago. D&S kit. It's an absolutely great build. Took a lot less time than I was expecting it to. Really happy with it. If you can get a hold of one of these, I very much recommend you do. It's a brass and white metal kit. This one we've built is fully compensated, and I am very happy with it. And the reason I've done that there is because now we just have LBSC stock left. And a fair amount of it too. I'm going to show you one that wasn't actually built this year, it was built last year. But it's a D1, and the reason I'm showing you that is because we did some live streams building a D1 for Linny. Which was a older one than this, because this is the etched brass chassis, whereas Linny's had a white metal chassis. We got that built, running and primered before sending it back off to Linny to finish up. So that was a rather enjoyable project. Obviously not this project, but we did that and we were very happy with it. I do remember moments of elation when it first turned its wheels on the live stream. We have also dipped our toes in a new medium this year. Well, new to us anyway, and that is resin in this D3 by Golden Arrow Models. We replaced the buffers with some sprung buffers. We gave it screw link couplings, but other than that I do believe we built it as designed. Oh yes, and we gave it a cab interior. Because of course it sits on a Hornby M7 chassis, so I stole the interior out of the M7 and that went in the cab as what in the cab of this. So a very nicely detailed model when done. Some real coal in the tender. It was great fun. I really enjoyed building that, and I would definitely recommend that kit to anyone. I understand there are some of Golden Arrow's other kits that are not as fun to build, but that one really was. I really did enjoy that. One of our smaller projects we worked on that needs some finishing off doing to it is a brake. Needs a roof, needs its painting finished, needs some transfers. Made out of a pair of old Triang Clerestory coaches. I do like my Clerestory bashes, I'm not going to lie. I have great fun doing those. These were LNE teak ones, both of them. Despite this having a black underside. Very much enjoyed that, very much want to get it finished, very much want to build the rest of the rake. I believe I've got another 3 carriages to do for the rake I want for that. And that will end up going behind my Umber B1 most likely on Hailsham. Then we have a project worked on, albeit briefly, Roxy Mouldings, 1909 LBSC push-pull. Originally ran as a single car behind Terriers. Perfect. Just this and an Umber Terrier. I picked this up off eBay, mostly built, very nice interior to it. Paintings on the walls, seats in the correct-ish styles. But it was in BR condition. So we backdated it. We had to rebuild the end and repaint. It did originally have just 2 wires coming off, one from each bogie, so it was live on one side on there and the other side on there. I have redone the bogies now so that all the wheels have pickups coming off them. As I say, they didn't before, so that can now pick up off all its wheels. We will run some cables up into here, and actually we're going to fit this one with lighting because it's got such a nice interior, it would be a shame not to. So this is going to get a full setup with lighting, and then it will go behind one of my many Umber Terriers. And that will run the Polegate to Hailsham shuttle. Or it will run one of the many Polgate to Hailsham shuttles. I've got loads of loads of sets planned to do that differently, to get variation in there, and they're all realistic sets, but I like to have the variation rather than running the same 4 Locos all the time. You know, we've got, of course, our most recent project, a 3D printed brake van, which I've not stuck the roof on still, as I hadn't on the stream on Sunday, but the paint is holding it in place. I'm actually going to have to pull it off because it needs, you can see daylight through there, it needs sticking down properly. So I'm going to pull it off and stick it on with glue and glaze so that we don't mess up the windows. I know people mentioned they didn't like the look of the paint blob, the glue blobs on the windows, but there we go. The windows are absolutely fine. No need to worry about those. The glue and glaze is fantastic. This is from a new manufacturer. Goes by the name of Woco on RM Web. And I am very impressed with this kit. This is 6 hours work, including the paint drying. So, you know, you don't get results like that often, do you? Very, very impressed with it. Definitely didn't just snap off the brake block there. I have to stick that back on. That is my fault, not the kit's. That's what happens when you hold it by the brake blocks. Don't do that. But yes, it's resin 3D print, and it is really, really good. Of course, there's not lots left sat here, so I think we'll get on to the project we all want to see next. I'm sure there's people been sat waiting to see it, and that is, of course, the puppies. There's nothing else you're expecting, was there? These were great fun. I'm not even going to try and get the camera to focus. It wouldn't join the live stream. I put some pictures on my Discord, okillmodelrailway.co.uk/Discord. If you want to join the server, come and check it out. There is a nice photo of them on there. But basically the puppies are very much the same as the adult dog, who is based on my old dog. So that is the one we all wanted to see, wasn't it, the puppies? So we'll go on to our last Loco, well, our last 2 projects, which are very much related now. So the last Loco we've got here is the Craven Tank by Javier, which has, for some reason, moved its tank and boiler and firebox forwards a lot. And my God, isn't she beautiful? Oh, I'm still stunned by this Loco, which has a Andrew Stadden Victorian crew in there as the pet it will be getting. She's absolutely beautiful. I do love this project. Again, it's 3D printed. It is motorised despite its size. So it's a Shapeways print, so it's not as good quality as the resin print for the brake van, but considering it is a Shapeways print, it is fantastic. I would definitely recommend this to people wanting to build early Locos and then use my live streams for instructions. I do believe is the best way of doing it. I had an absolutely fantastic time building this, and so would anyone else. So yeah, she's an incredible kit to build. Definitely recommend it. If you're into early railways, she's an 1860s branch line Loco. And she's a joy to build. She can be had off of Javier's Shapeways shop, which you can get details of by coming along to my live stream. I'm sure someone can post a link there. The command may even still be active, or again join in my Discord, because I'm gonna forget to put links in the description of this video, so I'm not even gonna say look in the description. And of course, every Loco needs a train to pull. And she got one. Not only is it a train of Craven era stock, it is correct Craven era stock for this Loco. We've got a 9C second, a 9B third, a 13A first, and a 20A luggage brake. Second, of course, is also a brake. The Brighton ran with brakes at both ends on its rakes. This is a kit now available from 5 and 9 models as a Craven brake van. This one was converted from a Triang rocket coach that, although it's much overscale for the rocket coaches, it's ideal for the Brighton 13A. These two, on the other hand, were scratch built from plasticard and are sat on modified Hornby chassis. They all go together, they make a very nice train, and I was very happy with them. Now that is all our projects for this previous year. I was going to add some clips of the layouts we've worked on at the end of this video, but I'm approaching 40 minutes now, so I think it's time to let you all go do something else. And perhaps we'll have a look at the layouts we worked on over the last year next week. So make sure you tune in then. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And do remember, drop down there. Like, comment, subscribe. If you've made it this far, you really, really are a legend. I absolutely love you. Please do let me know you are a legend and you've made it this far. And I will see you on Sunday for Let's Build Live. Bye for now.